Let's talk about Lucy. We're getting near the end of the tale now. We might even wrap it up today, who knows. After seeing Mrs. P, Lucy went home, and on talking to Stephanie, the arrangements were made via a pub meet, Stephanie and Paul, that they would meet up and talk about the things that they needed to discuss about the locket, and to see if Lucy could return it to its rightful owner, Paul's mother. Now she knew all of the tale, she felt more comfortable in talking to Paul about it. It wasn't as if she was prying into his parents' or grandparents' lives, or news that maybe they didn't want talked about. So she quite simply waited for Stephanie to let her know when would be the best time. Later that evening, Steph got in touch. "I've spoken to Paul," she said, "and he's quite happy to meet you. Where would you like to meet him? Pub, I guess." "Good," said Steph, "because that's where the arrangement has been made for." The following evening, Lucy took extra special care in getting ready to go to the pub. Why, you might ask yourself? Well, why do you think? It's plainly obvious she thought he was attractive. And the way Mrs. P and her had got on so well, she felt a kind of connection to him, even though she hadn't really met him more than an introduction. She got herself ready and went. She walked into the bar, and there he was at the bar. She walked up and said a polite hello to him, and he said hello back. He asked what she would like to drink, and she quite simply had something to drink and just sat beside him quietly. They sat, and eventually the conversation came round to the locket. "Can I see it?" he asked. "Of course," said Lucy, and she took it out of her pocket, where she had placed it into a small jewellery box and had wrapped it in some tissue to keep it safe. He liked the look of it, he said. "It's kind of old-fashioned, but in a retro, modern kind of way." "That's funny," she said. "That's exactly what I thought." Anyway, on opening it up, he looked in. "Oh yeah," he said. "Oh wow, I can really see my mum in her mum's picture, and of course that's the baby, my mum. Obviously I never knew her then." And they both giggled. As the evening went on, plans were made for Lucy to again meet someone new, his mother. "She's very sweet," he said. "She doesn't bite, and in fact she can't eat a whole human at once anyway." Lucy laughed in an uncomfortable but pleasing manner. The following evening, the date was set for her to meet Paul's mum, and their meeting was wonderful. The lady was understanding, caring, and really, really sweet. Very much like my own mother, thought Lucy. Paul and Lucy sat and spoke about the finding, when it was found, how it was found, who it was found by, all the usual things. There was crying and laughing and enjoyment. But the evening went by wonderfully. Paul's mother had laid on a bit of a spread. Cakes, sandwiches, the lot. What we here in Britain call a high tea, with all the wonderful cakes and treats that any one person could eat, laid in front of you. It was absolutely delicious to look at, and even more delicious to taste. After her third cup of tea and sandwiches and cake, Lucy said that she really would have to be going, as the time now was moving on, and she had things to do and a cat to feed. Paul said, "Well, I'll pop you back, as I brought you in the car. I'm not going to leave you to walk back." And that's what he did. They got back at the cottage, and it was more than plainly obvious that neither of them wanted to end the evening here. So she said, "You could come in if you like. I'll even show you where I found it." Believe it or not, it was in an outside toilet, which is no longer a toilet. What do you think? "Oh, I'll come and look," he said, quite willingly, and obviously hoping that the question would be put forth to him. And then he went. It wasn't long before, after chatting, it became quite obvious that they were going to get on really, really well. "This is marvellous," she said. "I'm really enjoying your company." "Me too," said Paul. The evening went well, and then many, many more evenings followed. And as time went on, it became plain to everybody in the village that they were an item, or were going to be an item. This just friends business wasn't cutting it for everybody. Anybody, not the butcher, the baker or the candlestick maker. They all know that something special had happened again in the cottage. This cottage brings luck to everybody. You find someone to adopt, you find love of a lifetime, or you meet the man that you hope will be the love of your lifetime. So I guess we'll leave Lucy there. Paul, a member of the original family that lived in the cottage, is now back, right back at the beginning, where his grandmother had been. His biological grandmother. And then his nan and granddad, who had taken him on, and now Lucy and him were back almost in residence. Most of the time, I might add, was Paul. So that's the end of the tale. I hope you enjoyed it. The end. I'll tell you now, peeps, if this is bumpy, I'm sorry. I'm out doing my walk in one of the local fields. I think I've told you before, this is the cow field. This is where many, many people walk their animals. And as we were coming along, I had to dip into the hedge because we had what looked like a lady to me doing her afternoon jogging session. But anyway, I wanted to finish the story. I wanted you to know that it had come to an end. I hoped you enjoyed the story of Lucy and the locket. And to me, even though it's imagination, I hope and I pray that Lucy and Paul had a fantastic life in the cottage. What you reckon, folks? A few kids, more cats, maybe even a puppy. But anyway, thank you so much for joining me on my exercise today, listening to me rambling on about Lucy, and also enjoying a view of the countryside. I love all these grasses. Can you see them? Oh gosh, I hope so. I love them immensely. I love the grasses. Gorgeous. Anyway, my darlings, I'm going to get to the top of the hill, or to the brow of the hill, so I have to be careful because we have a play school, and I really do not want to catch any of the children coming in or out of their playgroup. You can hear them in the background, as you could hear the school over the other side when I walk by. So I'll say goodbye now, and I'll try and get this up, sorted and online as quickly as I can. That's if I don't get too breathless to make it home, but I don't think I will. Love you all, besties. Take good care. What a glorious day. Bye.